The linemen attribute their cohesiveness to being able to practice more together in the offseason and also to hanging out off the field. Last season, Trumpy and Schmidt combined for 4 more rushing yards than Persa alone. That versatility is key heading into this week's matchup against Boston College. What's it like to play and practice and take advice from Julius Peppers?
You know, it's great. He's a guy that's been in the league.
Coach, a tough battle in the midfield. The game was won on corners. You had a number of goals on corners. How big of a focus was that in your preparation for this game? Davey trains 5 days a week here at TC Boost in Northbrook, Illinois. Because he wasn't invited to the Combine, his times and stats from Pro Day will be the last impression he leaves with teams before the draft. With the NBA Eastern Conference Finals underway, all eyes are on Bulls point guard Derrick Rose. While growing up, he perfected his craft at Murray Park in Englewood. This week, I went to the park and discovered that it's the heart of the community. What have you seen out of Mike Kafka so far this year?
Mike's been playing well. Mike's determined. You know, he's been putting in a lot of work, studying, and he's just doing a great job.
The hope is that the next round of meetings will see the two sides agree to a deal to end the labor dispute. I'm here outside of the Big Ten Conference headquarters in Park Ridge, Illinois, where today a 7-member task force will be meeting with Fiesta Bowl officials at Halas Hall. I'm Allison Bullock.
Allison Bullock has more on the Wildcats senior standout.
Touchdown! Hard work and commitment. That's what it takes to make an impact on Northwestern's team for 4 years. Wide receiver Jeremy Ebert knows firsthand, but it wasn't always easy.
I mean, I got it as a freshman. I think I got it because someone got hurt, and I was really nervous. You know, it was a whole new level out there. Everyone's big and fast.
Ebert was a high school quarterback, but he debuted as a wide receiver and hasn't slowed his momentum.
He's just taken more on himself. More plays come to him as he becomes a bigger part of things and more of a senior, more of a leader. He becomes the playmaker.
Ebert looked up to the veteran wide receivers, and he caught on to the position quickly.
Ross, Eric Peterman, Rasheed Ward, those are guys I really looked at and studied. I was a high school quarterback, so I had no idea what I was doing. So they taught me everything I know.
As Northwestern's leading receiver, Ebert has grabbed that knowledge and transformed his role on the team.
He takes a lot of responsibility on himself. He's done a great job with leadership with the young guys especially.
It's a lot of work. You know, I don't go home in the summers. I stay here all summer. You know, work out 7-on-7s, go to all the workouts. So it's a big time commitment. You know, you really have to put in your hours if you want to be successful.
And to Ebert, success doesn't come in making catches, but in overcoming obstacles with his team.
I want to win a Big Ten championship, and I want to go to Pasadena. So we have to win out, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Looking forward to the challenge. It's going to be a tough road, but we've worked so hard for this moment.
And as Allison Bullock reports, the offensive line is a big part of the reason.
The boys are back, and they've got a new swagger. Northwestern's offensive line is determined to work together toward a common goal, a better rushing game. In the 2011 season opener against Boston College, the Wildcats rushed for 227 yards and gave up 0 sacks on the front line, and it was a joint effort.
It was great to run the football and get that many rushing yards. I think the guys played well together. They're a really close-knit group, and playing on the same page, communicating well was a big improvement.
And the line needed good communication skills to handle the adjustment of moving veteran starting center Ben Burkett to guard, which meant redshirt freshman Brandon Vitable had to step up.
Guard and center happen to be some of those skill sets that you can move a guy around. And we felt that coming out of spring and then coming out of fall camp that Brandon was the 5th best player, and he happened to be the guy that was most suited to play center.
Even though he's the youngest on the line, Vitable isn't intimidated by his more experienced peers.
It helps because they've been there before, and they're there to push you along like when we go fast with our tempo.
And it's that teamwork the line will use to prove themselves this season. The group has taken pride in coming together as a unit and getting all 5 guys on the same page for every play.
There's so many times last year that we had 4 guys execute and 1-man breakdown in the game of football, and on offense doesn't work for you. So I think that those guys took a lot of pride in the offseason working together and getting that chip on their shoulder to finish.
The linemen attribute their cohesiveness to being able to practice more together in the offseason and also to hanging out off the field.
Coach told me to make sure I'm hanging out with the other guys so we can, gel and have the chemistry that we need to win a Big Ten championship.
Even though the road to the end of the season is long, the Cats' confidence in their hard work is apparent.
I believe this is probably the best offensive lineman that we've had since I've been here in 5 years. I think just as far as experience, athleticism, strength, the whole deal.
For the Pat Fitzgerald Show, I'm Allison Bullock. Second-year Eagles quarterback Mike Kafka is in a fight for the team's backup quarterback position, the position left vacant by Kevin Kolb. This preseason saw the addition of two-time Pro Bowl quarterback Vince Young and rookie Gerard Johnson to the squad. During Kafka's second season, he has a head start on running the offense over the two newcomers. Kafka has been taking reps with the second-team offense and is clued into what it will take to stand out.
I can't really worry about, counting numbers or anything like that. Just do my job, execute my offense and the reps that I get, make them worthwhile.
Kafka didn't appear in any regular season games in 2010, but he got valuable experience during last preseason. He says that knowledge is his biggest strength going into the season.
Just knowing the execution of the offense, being able to manage the game, I think that'll really show up in preseason.
His efforts have been enough to catch the eye of starting quarterback Mike Vick.
Mike's determined. He's been putting a lot of work, studying, and he's just doing a great job.
The team has been the subject of media frenzy after signing a number of new faces, including Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie and free agent Nnamdi Asomugha.
I think we're doing a good job of managing that. Obviously, there's the media market in Philadelphia is huge, so the expectations will always be high here in Philadelphia. So, we'll just do our best to manage it and do our job.
The Eagles have their first preseason game Thursday against the Ravens, and Kafka can expect to see some game action to make his case for the #2 quarterback job.